Good afternoon. The global remittance market is a $300 billion market, and yet banks are not dominating in this space. There are several reasons as to why this is so. From the first perspective I'll take is that of the consumer. Customers today are saddled by a high cost of remittances and also poor service levels. So take, for example, an average remittance from originating from the UK to India. It takes about 10% of the principal amount in terms of fees to be able to transfer money back to India. So that's the first issue, which is the high cost. Secondly, if a customer wants to go and remit money, and if he does it via the TT or SWIFT network, it would take at least 2 days for money to arrive at the destination. Furthermore, from the bank's perspective, they are locked in commercially by the money transfer organizations such as Western Union via an exclusive contract and also through their technology platforms. But more importantly, there is significant revenue leakage when banks partner with money transfer companies up to the tune of 50% of fees. So what NCore propositions today is, number one, we provide proven technology to banks to allow them to disintermediate the money transfer companies for higher revenues. We provide the technology platform to allow customers or banks to provide faster and cheaper money transfer services. And lastly, not only do we provide platform, but because we are out in the Far East, we help banks grow their remittance networks by connecting straight to banks in the Far East, namely India, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia. So what I will do today is to demonstrate to you how integration takes place. Now, what I'm going to show to you today is probably the most unsexy demo of this whole conference, because I'm not going to show you pretty web pages, but rather what the integration involves behind the scenes, the plumbing which takes place. So really, what I'm going to demonstrate today is how Federal Bank, an Indian bank, processes inbound remittances and how integration is achieved seamlessly. So what I have up here is a gateway installed on this notebook, which is connected real-time online back to India, to the Federal Bank core banking platform. And as you see over here in the notepad, is a simulated inbound remittance transaction. So you can notice you see the beneficiary information, the account number to credit to, the remitter information, and for example, let's just send or trigger off this transaction of $300 back to India. Okay. So what I'll do now is to release this transaction. Okay. Okay. And you'll see the gateway receiving that transaction data, doing the processing, and if everything goes well, the nostro account of the foreign partner will be debited, and the beneficiary account will then be credited with the actual remittance amount. So as you can see, if we look at the receive file, okay, you will see that the transaction has been processed. Okay, $300 has been credited, and the nostro account of the partner bank has been debited. So really, that's what we are trying to show you today. Okay, and what you see actually is real-time integration taking place with a bank in India. Okay, and as you all know, the key to winning in the remittance space is to be able to execute integration flawlessly. And what we have today is a tool which allows that to take place. Okay. First and foremost, as you can see up here, this tool allows the bank to define the integration process in a graphical manner. So what that means is the bank does not need to worry about manual hand stitching of integration code. The tool generates and does all the message transformations for you automatically. And as you can see on this side of the screen, there is a whole range of web communication protocols which allows the bank to integrate with the foreign partner. So today, I'm here not just to show you technology, but to also bring you market access to India, the largest remittance market in the world, to a tune of $50 billion. And to tell you a little bit more and how, I will introduce my partner, Rohan Timlo, from Praxiva, who will tell you more about it.
Good afternoon. I'm very excited to be here, and even more excited to present the opportunity to Finovate members to participate in the Indian remittance market. I'm here on behalf of Federal Bank, who is actively looking for strong and committed UK and European remittance partners. As most of you might be aware, in the remittance space, reach and touch points are critical factors. With 632 branches, 732 ATMs, a host of e-banking services, including mobile and internet banking, 15,000 transactions a day, Federal Bank is has emerged the top-ranked bank and is extensively active in the South Indian state of Kerala. The Kerala region is also well renowned for its high literacy. A large proportion of that population are migrant workers employed overseas, especially in the UK and EU. Lastly, the bank has strong patronage of non-resident Indians who are overseas and is aggressively looking to further expand its bilateral remittance arrangements in the UK and EU. We will be stationed at our booth later on during the networking session. Please do drop by and visit us so we can further explore mutual win-win partnerships, especially in the Indian remittance corridor. Thank you.
Thank you. To summarize, I have 2 points to leave with you. Number one, we have the technology and the ability to help you build your remittance networks, leveraging off our relationships of banks in the Far East. And number two, here today with Federal Bank out of India, we are looking for European and UK banks who are keen to establish bilateral remittance relationships. So with that, thank you very much.